Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you why you don't need to spend a ton of money on these and you can make your own MREs. So this is a video that's been in the planning stages for a while. I've kind of been gathering things and I've been thinking about doing this just for my own camping and hiking type stuff. And also for the bag I reviewed a while back, my my kind of quick reaction bag for MREs and Skywarn and everything else I do. It's a kind of a way to save a little money, pack exactly what you like, and make your own MREs. Everybody's familiar with these things. We've seen them thousands of times. They're your average MRE. What I have here in front of you is two that I've put together. And again, this is just a representation. Don't let this limit you. This is just two that I've put together for me and stuff that I put in them. There's tons of other things you can put in these. This is not a limitation at all. Generally what I've done though is try to make them so that they're actually MREs. Everything in here, for the most part, is cooked and ready to eat. Even if it's not too tasty, you can still eat it because it's cooked. So, I'm going to run through inside what I got inside these. You can see, they're pretty well packed. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, first of all, you don't have to wait forever for an $80 case of MREs, if you're lucky to find it at that price, to show up at your door. If you're going camping tomorrow, you can go to any grocery store, pick up 98% of this stuff, throw it in a bag, and poof, you've got a homemade MRE. So they're really good for that kind of stuff. Dietary restrictions, okay? Let's say you're allergic to certain types of foods, certain types of additives. We have somebody on my channel that doesn't eat pork, that watches my videos. And she has a channel too. You've probably seen her, Kaylin Strain. This is a perfect way to do that. You can pack what you want to eat so that you never have to worry about dietary restrictions. You've got it all there for you. It's stuff you're going to eat. Kind of along the lines of store what you eat and eat what you store. This way you take it with you and there's no garbage. So there's less waste. You're not throwing out stuff. I drink coffee. I don't use creamer or sugar. No need to pack that in these for me, Certain meals, like I have Spam in this one. I have two things of the little mini Spams in there. I'm not going to pack salt with that. I certainly don't need any salt with it. You know what I mean? So it's little savings here and there. Let's say you don't drink coffee. Well, perfect. Of course, now I can't find it. You throw a tea bag in there instead of a coffee. So I'm going to tear these apart and show you. Another thing, too, is you can stick pretty much... I could actually use an MRE heater in these if I wanted to. So you can build kind of a hybrid MRE. Don't be afraid to... Like, here's an example. This is the beef jerky that they have from the MREs. This would fit perfectly in there if I didn't have store-bought beef jerky in there already. Can't talk this morning. Quickly, we're going to talk about weight. I believe I zeroed this scale out. Here we go. Okay. So we're all zeroed out. Now, I'm going to weigh an average MRE. This MRE is a little light because it's a vegetarian burger. Some of them are a little heavier. So it's showing me 27.06 ounces. Okay. So let's take this guy here. This is the heavier of the two with the chicken in it. And that's 30 ounces, 30.6. This one, 29.52. So, depending on the MREs you're carrying, they're all about the same weight. You're really not going to get any weight savings out of it. But let's say you don't want the rice. Let's say you just want the Spam in here. Don't pack the rice. Have a lighter MRE. So these are really scalable. You can go up or down with them. You can make them any way you really want. So what we're going to do is tear into them. Excuse me, and show you what's inside. So I start off with a piece of silverware and a napkin. You don't need this if you already carry, like I have a spork I carry with me. So for me personally, I probably wouldn't pack that, but because I'm doing the demo today, we're putting that in there. I have a little mini beef jerky. You can buy these. Actually, I got these at Walmart, a pack of them. I think the whole pack was like $5 or $6. So, I don't know, it came like 10 of them. Next up, some crackers. My wife actually loves these crackers for a snack. So, That's why I tossed them in here. But they're peanut butter crackers, so that's a lot of protein. A lot of good hiking food. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah. Applesauce. Makes a nice dessert. I was trying to think of what I could put in here that would kind of give me the feeling of having a dessert, but not melt. I mean, the options of chocolate bars and stuff like that are awesome, but they're going to melt in no time. Any kind of candy or chocolate's going to get nasty quick. Now here's something I didn't think about until I saw it in the store. Juice boxes. Again, these are heavy. If you just want to take a powdered Gatorade mix with you, which I also have in there, you can do that. But these are really good. Kind of gives you a little bit of different flavor. And again, too, I'm trying to mix up the flavors, too, so it's a bit of a well-rounded meal, you know, so you're not just eating one thing. I mean, I could just toss Spam and rice in here, and that would be it, but it's kind of boring. Here. This is Starbucks Instant Coffee. I like this stuff. It's a little expensive, but like I said, if you got an old MRE and you've eaten it up and you got the coffee left over, no reason not to throw that in there. And because it's just dying to come out, I got 2 Spam singles in here. Generally, if I'm hungry, I'll have 2. If I'm not, I'll have 1. Again, the scalability. If I know I'm just going on a day walk, a couple miles, you know, maybe I'll only take 1. If I'm going away for a while and I'm going to know I'm going to do a lot of hiking, I'm going to take 2. Now, my only disappointment, these are big. Does anybody know of pre-cooked rice that really can just be heated that isn't so big? These are thick, and that's a lot of rice. But, again, it's cooked, it's ready to eat. If I have to cut this open and eat this without any heater, I can. I always carry a cook kit, so I'm not really worried about it. So let's put that out. Next up, paper towel, you know, a wet wipe type thing. You got some salt and pepper. Again, this came from a to-go order we got a while back. I tossed some nuts in here, some salted peanuts. And lastly, I've got some Propel. So you've got a powdered energy drink. So if you take a look at that there, that's a pretty darn good meal. I mean, that's a pretty big meal. Let me back up the camera a little bit here. That's a whole lot of food that you can eat and have for you ready to go. Now, a word about these two is, remember, this is not military-packed stuff that's designed to last 5 years. If you put a kit like this in your car, especially in my environment where it gets to be 150 degrees in your car over the summer, you're probably going to have to pull this out every 6 months to every year. I've done, gosh, a while back I did a review on an MRE that was in my car for I think 5 years or 2 years, or anyway, it was in the heat. It was perfectly fine. But again, this is something you're going to have to check more often than, say, your regular standard MRE fare. So let's move this out of the way. Push this down. And we'll move on to the next one. This guy here. I want to get that totally out of the camera. This is another one. Kind of along the same lines. And again, this is just to give you some ideas of what you can put in them. I have some chunk tuna. Chunk chicken, I'm sorry. You can put tuna in here. For some reason I was thinking tuna. This is just premium grilled white chicken. It's got a little smoke flavor to it. I almost got the other one that's just completely plain, and I thought, that's going to be kind of boring. However, there's ways to spice that up, and we'll get into that later in this one. Got one of these Prego Completes. I reviewed these a while back. These are awesome. Again, you could use a MRE heater with these. You could toss these into one of those FRH, the flameless ration heaters, and it would heat up just like an MRE. But generally I carry a cooking kit, so this kind of stuff could be warmed up real easy in a cooking kit. So there's your main course, okay? Again, another juice box. And even though it came unwrapped, my fork and thing, crackers. We've got the same jerky. And you know, the nice part about this is too, let's say you've eaten this and you're stuffed. Well, you can put all this back in the bag, you can stick this in your pocket, and an hour down the trail, if you're still hungry, you can eat that. Same with bug out bags, you know. You don't have to eat everything at once, so it gives you a little more options. Let's see what else. Pretty much this is all the same stuff, the coffee and the Propel. And this stuff is really good. If you get an average water bottle, I don't know, what are they, 8 ounces? And dump this in there and shake it up, This will rehydrate you very, very well. I generally carry a couple of these in my EDC kit, you know, my little bag I showed you a while back, because of that reason. I'm out here in the desert, I'll be shooting, I'll be working on something, I'll be playing it somewhere, I'll be shopping, whatever, and be like, whoa, I am really dehydrated. Toss one of these in a bottle, shake it up, you're good to go. Now, got this. This is pepper sauce, basically hot sauce. Because that might be kind of plain with that, so if I mix the two together and I find it's kind of plain, I can just toss that in there. Again, salt and pepper. I think this is actually from an MRE, this little salt and pepper. And your applesauce. So you can make a pretty well-rounded meal that's a little bit healthier than, say, an MRE maybe. Again, the shelf life isn't the same. These aren't going to last indefinitely. You are going to have to check on them more often. But for the price, you know, I mean, I think if I were to add this up just off the top of my head, maybe that's $6-7 worth of food there. And I know MREs locally here, when they're for sale, I did find a guy that was selling them for $8 each, but generally they're in the $10 range. And if you're going to buy cases of them, and if you're going to use them for hiking and stuff, you're going to carry a lot of dead weight, because there's a lot of stuff you may not eat in there. You're going to have to worry about your dietary restrictions if you can't eat certain things. You're going to have to worry about taking them out and checking them. And with this, I can take this out and go, oh, everything looks good. Okay, repack it back in here. With an MRE, if I cut it open, I can't really reclose it that well, unless I have a sealer or some way to do that. So anyway, that's my take on some homemade MREs. You can do this really simple. It's not expensive, you know. I mean, if you're on a budget and you want to start prepping some bags of food for maybe your go bags or whatever, you can go and buy, you know, this one week, I bought a case of this. A case of these the next week, a couple of entrees the week after that. And two, I was thinking about putting this with ramen, and I wanted to mention something about ramen. I like ramen. Matter of fact, just yesterday I did a video cooking ramen. But you can also eat ramen unboiled, because they are cooked noodles, they're fried. So again, sticking with the MRE principle, where everything here I could open up and eat right now without heating up, ramen can be eaten too, without boiling it, without cooking it, quote unquote, even because it is cooked noodles. So that's my take on the homemade MREs. Just an idea. I mean, some of this stuff, some of you guys are looking at this going, oh, I'd never eat that. Well, buy something you like, you know? It's real simple. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out our Amazon store. I got lots of new stuff in it. And if you need freeze-dried stuff, if you need long-term storage food, we also have my Thrive Life store underneath, down at the bottom in the description. And thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.